welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So as you can read from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a story time, but this time around I'm going to be doing my makeup while I do the story time, or while I tell you guys the story time and tell you what happened, because I've received a couple of comments and some of you guys told me in the DMs like, why don't you do your makeup while you tell us the story time or whatever. So I decided, you know what, story times are a lot of fun and you guys seem to really enjoy them, but the makeup tutorials are kind of not in style and not the vibe anymore. So I decided to just do like do my makeup while I tell you guys a story time type of video. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So this is not a tutorial, however I will be listing the products that I'm using in the description box below, so if you guys are interested in what I used, you can just check the description. But yeah, let's start off with this makeup. I already did my eyebrows off camera just because my eyebrows take a lot of time and you guys see me do them a million times before, so I decided let's skip that and let's get straight into the face. So I'm going to start off with my primer and my foundation and start with a story time. So this specific, oh also by the way, I'm sorry if I'm looking this way a little bit, it's because I have my mirror right here and I need to see what I'm doing, you know. Okay, so this particular story time happened a couple of years back. This story time happened a couple of years back, and it was somewhat unexpected because of course I'm not licensed to do deceased people's makeup and I don't have any training whatsoever in that area, you know. So I've always wanted to, and I've spoke to a couple of companies about it and none of them would like give me a job, but this was like way back in time, like way back, and they would not like give me a job to, you know, do deceased people's makeup because they told me like you need specific trainings and stuff. And then I spoke with them and then they explained to me basically, like, for example, if someone gets shot or something and you need to fix that, let's say someone gets shot in the head, you can't just put the person in the casket with a hole in his head, you know, you need to be able to fix that and make the person look presentable. So just foundation and contouring will not do that. So I understand why I couldn't get the job. I'm not salty about it or anything, but I'm just saying so you guys know I don't have any training or anything. The person that I did her makeup was my grandma's sister, and she was a little bit sick and she was in a nursing home because her family, most of her family, like her husband and so forth, they had passed already, and there was no one that could take care of her like how she needed. So there was no one that could provide like constant care and that. So yeah, she was in a nursing home and she was well taken care of, at least so we thought, but they were stealing her clothes and stuff, so yeah, not so well taken care of, I guess. But so yeah, she was there and we would go to visit her and stuff. And I mean, of course no one wants to be in a nursing home, or at least not anyone that I know of likes to be in a nursing home. But I mean, she knew that it was the best for her, so she was like okay with it, kind of. And she wasn't feeling like extra sick or anything. And then one day I was in my room, it was really early in the morning, so I was asleep, and I still lived in Curacao with my mom at her house. And my mom came in my room and she was like, you need to wake up because we need to go because so and so passed away. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean passed away? Like, what? And she's like, yeah, you need to wake up. And I'm like, no, like, this is not happening right now. Like, you are playing me and I'm not gonna wake up. So she's like, no, for real, like, we need to go. So then it really hit me like, oh shit, like, this is really happening. So I quickly got up, took the quickest shower that I could take, and we went to the nursing home. So we were rushing to get there, and when we got there were already some family members there that got there before us. So we went there and I was so sad and devastated because I was pissed because like as we were on the way there, I was asking my mom like what happened, like did someone say what happened, like this can't just happen to people, like I know it can, but like I wasn't ready to accept that. So I was like, you know, what happened, like there must be some explanation or some justification. I don't know. I was looking for something to make myself feel better and to understand what was going on. And she was like, yeah, I don't know yet, like no one's saying anything, so we need to just like hurry up and get there, and that way we can like ask the people, like the nurses and stuff, like what happened. So we got there, we ran inside and we met a couple of the nurses. They knew us already because like I said, we would come to visit, so they knew who we are, and they were like, yeah, come this way, blah blah blah. So we went to her room and she was just, you know, sleeping on the bed, and I was like asking the nurses like what happened, or my mom was asking actually like what happened, and they explained to us basically that she was fine this morning. And keep in mind, they told us that she had passed around 7 a.m. So they said, yeah, she was fine this morning when we took her to take a shower, she was fine. So we don't really understand what happened because she was fine, and we gave her medicine or whatever and she was fine, and now she's just, you know, sleeping in the bed. And when we came back to like look after her and see how she was doing, like she already passed. I'm like, what? Like, I don't believe that shit. So I was like already pissed because one thing about me, when I get in a sad mood, like if I'm really sad, I get kind of aggressive and like I don't want to fuck around. And especially if it's something this serious, like, you know, somebody died, like I can't do anything about it, so I'm really fucking mad that I can't bring the person back, you know. So I was really irritated, and the nurses were kind of being like, you know, like, yeah, we don't know what happened, and I was not believing it. And still to this day, I don't believe that is how the story went, you know, but I don't have proof. So they told us like, yeah, blah blah blah. So I was like, you know what, never mind. So I stopped talking and listening to the nurse, and I went on her bed. I slept next to her, and I was just stroking her head and talking to her. And you know, I knew she was already gone, but I mean, like, that was the only thing that I could do. So I was just laying next to her on the bed and like sleeping and speaking to her in her ear and telling her stuff. And you know, she was sick though, so it was like, it was sad for us, but maybe I was thinking like maybe this is good for her because now she's with her husband, you know, in heaven and all that stuff. So that is a little bit of a backstory, just so you guys know like how it happened and how it came about. So the bond that I had with her was really like a grandma type bond, because like I said, she was my grandma's sister. So we were close because my grandma has 11 sisters, or 11 siblings I should say. So my family on my mom's side is kind of close, and we were always together and stuff. So it was like really hard for me and for all of us, because you know that old people, like eventually they're going to pass away. But I feel like when it's someone dear to your heart, you're never ready for that day to come. So it was fucked up, and I had a really nice bond with her. She had kind of the same hair type as I do, and she would love it when I would comb her hair. So sometimes before she was in the nursing home and stuff, even when she was in the nursing home, but before she was in the nursing home, like we would go visit her at her house, and she would be like, can you comb my hair? And I would just comb her hair, and you know, it would be nice, and put the red lipstick for her, and she would feel like a bad bitch, as she should, you know, period. So when that happened, it was really, really, really sad, and I felt like I don't know, I wanted to do something for her because she was really proud of me. And at that point, I had already came to the Netherlands for a couple of months, but then I went back, And when I went back, I bought her a white dress. It was so beautiful. I bought her a white dress and she loved the dress. And she took it to the nursing home, or we gave it to her in the nursing home. And she was telling like all the other ladies in the nursing home, like, this is what I brought her from the Netherlands, and she was feeling like she wanted to wear it every day. And I don't know what happened. She told me that one day she took it off for it to be washed, and then when it got washed, they told her, like the nurses told her, that they hung her up, that they hung it up for her in the closet, and then it disappeared. So they were stealing her stuff, and I was really mad about it, and I promised her that I would buy her another one when I go back to the Netherlands, but the day didn't come before she passed. So yeah, I was really sad about that. But you know, that's the backstory. Now to the funeral part. So of course she needed to be buried, and they organized a funeral, they arranged everything, and I was like, you know what, I want to do her I want to do like the preparations and, you know, do her makeup and stuff by myself, because, you know, that's the least that I can do for her. So my family members, some of them were like, you know, you can do that, but it's gonna be like a little creepy, because, you know, it's not like doing makeup on your clients that you normally do. Like, this person is dead, so it's gonna be different, and you need to make sure that the makeup sticks, because they're gonna be taking her out the freezer, so she's gonna be super cold. So you need to make sure that you use the right products. So I was like, you know what, it's not a problem, I can totally do that. So we went to the funeral home and we spoke to the people and asked if it was possible for me to do her makeup instead of the people that work at the funeral home itself. And they said that it was possible, and that people do that sometimes, because sometimes people want to do the makeup of their loved ones themselves. So that it was totally possible. And I was like, okay. So they told me what I need to bring, basically, which was all the normal stuff to do makeup with. So I decided to do that. One thing my mom told me, she was like, you know, I'm happy that you want to do this and all that, but you can't just use like your normal makeup brushes and sponges and your normal products on her, because even though like she's a loved one of ours and we love her and all that, like, she is dead. And it's a lot of bacteria and all that stuff, so it's best for you to just use stuff, some stuff on her that you can throw away. So I was like, it makes sense. So we went to the store and we bought a couple of brushes. So I bought like powder brushes, foundation brushes, all the brushes that I needed. I bought some inexpensive ones, but on Curacao everything is expensive, so yeah. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna throw them away after, because maybe I can do other dead people's makeup too. And I mean, between dead people, I don't think they discriminate. So I mean, I feel like, of course, I'm not gonna use the brushes on my makeup clients that are alive and well, but I mean, if I get another job, or if I get a job to do someone else's makeup that has passed, I mean, I can use those brushes. I will clean them and sanitize them and wash them and do all that and then use them. So I didn't throw them away after, but that day I decided, so we went there and we bought the we bought the brushes, my mom and I, and everything was ready for the funeral day. So when the day came, I had to go there, but my mom didn't want to go. So I went with a cousin of mine, and he and I went. So when we got there, I had my makeup kit, and I went to like the people that work there. I was like, hey, you know, I'm here to do this and this person makeup. And they were like, oh, okay, let us go get her, you know. So they brought her in the room, or they brought her in a room, and they closed like all the curtains around it. So it was only my aunt, me, and my cousin in there. And at first it was like kind of creepy, and because, you know, I knew that she was dead, I saw her dead and all that, but then I was like, you know, I don't want to do your makeup and your eye pops open, because I'm gonna be scared. So it was a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. At first I was like, you know, I hope everything goes well. And then, you know, doing makeup on people that are alive is different, because like I can tell you like, can you move your head a little bit, but with the dead person I don't want to move you around too much, because like I don't know, like if her eye pops open or something, I'm gonna run. So you know, it was a little different, but I mean, I still managed to do it. So when I went there, the person that worked there, she basically told us like, can you do her nails also, because she needs a nail polish. She doesn't have any nail polish on. And I was like, yeah, I can do that, but I didn't bring any nail polish because I don't use nail polish myself. I have acrylics, so I don't have nail polish like that. And she was like, yeah, we have some nail polish back here, you can use one. I'm like, okay, bet. So she brought the nail polish out, and because I knew that my aunt liked red lipstick a lot, I did put red lipstick for her. And then I chose to also put red nails, just so it would like kind of match with the red lips and stuff. So I did that, and I was doing her makeup. I started with the eyebrows, and I feel like the most difficult part of doing that whole process was the fact that the person is not sitting up. The fact that the person is in the casket, that is what bothered me, because you have to picture it in your mind that I'm standing and she's lying in the casket and I'm just like this, like on her face, and it's really it's kind of uncomfortable for me to do makeup like that, because normally if I would do someone else's makeup, your face would be right here and I would be doing your makeup like this, not like this. Because like this, I feel like there's a lot more pressure on your hand, because your whole body is like going in the casket to like, I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys are kind of getting the picture. So I was kind of taking my time because I didn't want to like mess up, and I feel like that was an important makeup, so you know, I don't want her to look bad. So I was doing her makeup and taking my time and moving around. I kept moving around the casket so I could get like on this side and on this side, because I really didn't want to move her head around all that much, you know. And I did her eyeshadow, I put some mascara. I didn't put fake lash or anything, because like she was an older person, she's not like into the fake lashes thing. So I did everything. I put her bronzer, I put everything, and then when it came time to put her lipstick, I was like debating whether I should put like lip liner or not, because the lips were also like sealed or like taped, glued, something. They were glued, I think, shut, so their mouth would stay shut. So I didn't want to like keep messing with her lips so they wouldn't like pop open and her mouth would be open, and then I wouldn't know what to do with it. So I was kind of debating whether I should put lip liner or not, but she had really tiny lips, so I was like, you know, a little lip liner can like help create a fuller effect. But I was like, you know, Hillary, chill, like this is not like, you know, just put the lipstick on and keep it pushing without lip liner. So that is what I did. I put the lipstick on without any lip liner, and I feel like when I was putting the lipstick on, I feel like her lip moved. So I was calling my cousin like, hey, like come see this, and he was like, what? And I was like, do you see this? Like the lip moved, like the lip wasn't like this, like her upper lip, like it moved. It wasn't like that when we got here. And he was like, girl, I don't know. But he was more scared than I was, but he's also younger, so that is totally normal. And I feel like it was a whole experience. And so I kept doing her makeup. Everything was going great. I did her eyeshadow. We did foundation, lips, everything. Then they brought her her jewelry. So the jewelry that the family members had brought in, like some of my family members brought in the clothes, the jewelry, everything that they wanted her to wear. And the lady was like, do you also want to put the jewelry on? So I'm like, you know what, I might as well. So she didn't have any necklace on, so I put the necklace on. It was really tricky because she didn't tell me this, so I thought I had to move her neck to close the necklace, but she was like, no, we don't close the necklace because she doesn't move, like she will not be moving in the casket. So because she's sleeping, you can just put the necklace around the neck and like tuck it behind her neck, and that's it. You don't have to actually like close it behind the neck. So I was like, oh, so I was really struggling to get behind her neck like this without like moving the head, and the head was like moving. I'm like, girl, stay still, like don't be moving your head like this, stay still so I can put the necklace on your neck. But she kept moving the neck. It's because I kept moving her head, so it was a whole lot. And when she came back, she was like, did you manage to put the necklace? I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah, so that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're just supposed to put it. I'm like, would have been helpful if you told me this 10 minutes ago. So yeah, so I did that. I put the necklace on, and then it was time to put the earrings on. So she also didn't have any earrings on, so I just had to put her earrings on, the ones that my family members brought for her. So to put the earrings on, I went and I stood at the top. I don't know how to explain this, let me think. So the casket was like this. The casket was like this. This is where her head is, and this is where her feet are. So I went and I stood right here, so at the beginning of the casket, so I could put the earrings on like this. So the casket was like this, and I was standing at the back at the beginning so I could put the earrings on. So when I had to bow my whole body and get really close because her ear hole was so tiny I couldn't see it. So I went with my whole body a little bit in the casket, and I heard tucks, and I'm like, what was that? So I was looking around like, what was that? What was that? What was that? And I thought it was my cousin because he was taking pictures of me. He was taking pictures of me while I was doing her makeup. So I thought it was him like playing around. And I asked him like, what was that? And he's like, I didn't do anything. So I'm like, what was that sound? And when I looked, like I felt like my head felt different. So I was like, oh my god, my earring. So my earring fell in the casket. And I'm like, hell to the no, because how am I gonna get that? Because the way that she was sleeping, or the way that she was laying there, the earring kind of went like a little bit below like her shoulder. So I would have to lift her up to get the earring, and I wasn't about to lift her up. So I was like, what happened? And then the lady that worked there came in, and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, my earring fell in the casket, and now I can't get it because I can't lift her up. And if I lift her up, her head is going to be bopping like this. So I don't want to do that, and I don't want to lift her up. But the earring fell in there, blah, blah, blah. And she started laughing, and she was like, yeah, she's sassy. And I'm like, she's sassy? What does that even mean? Like, why is she sassy? Like, what? And she's like, yeah, sometimes when you are doing a dead person's makeup, some personal items of you kind of fall in, and that means that they want the item. And I'm like, what? She wants the earring. And she's like, yeah, that means that she wants the earring. And I told her I was about to put her earrings on for her. She was like, yeah, if you want it, you can, like, I would lift her up and you can grab your earring and put it back on. But like, if you want, you can let her keep the earring because she obviously wants the earring. And I'm like, okay, if she wants the earring, she can have the earring. So I took the other earring off, I put it on, she helped me lift her up so we can get the other one. And I got the other one and I put it on her ear, and it looked beautiful. And I'm like, wow, like she needed the earring, she has the earring, it's not a big deal. After that, I did her nails. That was a little tricky because I'm not the best at nail polish, and like I don't want to keep moving the hand around, so it was a little tricky. But I feel like the makeup came out beautiful. My family loved it, so I sent them pictures like, do you think this is okay? And everyone thought it was okay. So the makeup looked good, her hair looked good, earrings, jewelry looked good, nails looked good. So yeah, everything was popping. And I was so happy that I managed to do that, because you know, it was something that I had never done before, and it was of course a challenge because, you know, it was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this, and I really wanted to do it and do it well, not just do it and make her look like a clown. Like, I wanted the makeup to look good and for her to look good like before she were buried. So I feel like she looked great and she would have been really happy with how her makeup turned out. So I was really pleased with that. I just finished the rest of my makeup, and now I'm going to just tell you guys the rest of the story time. So then what happened was her makeup was ready. I took some pictures. I sent it to my family members to like see if they had like anything else that they wanted me to fix, you know, because I had to keep in mind like I'm young and she's an older person, so old people like their makeup done a certain way, and she has like sisters that are alive like my grandmother, so maybe they would feel like, oh, like that is too much, or maybe put a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. So that's why I took the pictures, sent it to them, and they all thought that she looked beautiful. So I was like, you know, I'm happy that everyone loved it, because I was kind of nervous too of what the people were gonna think, because like imagine if I did all that and they were like, that is trash. Like I would feel horrible and I would have to take it off and like the person that worked there just do it. So I was happy that they thought I did a great job. So I was happy, and I told her that I was gonna go and that I was gonna come like when it's time for her funeral. So we said goodbye, or I told her goodbye, and I left. And then when it was time for the funeral, that everyone came. During the funeral, the staff of the funeral home came to me and they told me like at the very beginning, like, because you did her makeup and you like fix everything, like it would be good if you kept like checking in on her during the funeral to make sure that everything's okay, because sometimes people go hug the person or like move it around and do all kinds of stuff, and like some things can move. So it would be great if you can like go look at her. And also because they did take her out of the freezer, so her body was super cold, but now it's in a warmer room. I mean, the room that we were in had air conditioning, because but Curacao is a very hot island, so it's like, although we are in an air conditioned room, it's not as cold as when she was in the freezer. So make sure to like check on her and make sure that like if you see something you can touch up the makeup. So I did that during the funeral. I regularly went up to the casket, make sure that she was all right, you know, touch up a little bit of eyebrow, because sometimes people touch you and like mess some things around. So I went and I did some touch-ups for her. And then at the very end of the funeral, they came to me again when it was time to close the casket and everyone had said goodbye and everything. They came to me and they were like, you need to take the necklace off. And I was like, why? Like, why can't she be buried with the necklace on? Like, I never knew that people needed to take that off. And she was like, yeah, normally like people can be buried with their necklace or anything, but because her necklace were like some pearls, like it's like kind of a superstition thing that it's not good to be buried with pearls, because they say like when the person is buried and the necklace eventually breaks and the pearls like get loose, like for every pearl that gets out of the necklace, they say that it's like one more person of that family that's gonna die. So I mean, of course it's a superstition, and if you believe in that, that's great. If you don't, that's also great. I was just told that and they told me to take the necklace off, so that's what I did. I didn't like go in a discussion like, oh no, but I just did what they asked me. So they told me to take the necklace off because of the superstition. I did that, and she was an older person who believed all the superstitions, so it was her day. She was the one being buried, not me, so I did everything the way that she wanted it to be done. So I went up to the casket, I took the necklace off, and I put it in a plastic bag, and that was that. Then they could close the casket, and then she was off. They carried her, they put her in a car, and they brought her to the cemetery, and then she was buried. So it was a really nice funeral in my opinion, and I feel like the makeup looked good, and the makeup stayed looking good during the funeral as well. So I was happy about that. The only thing, the lipstick was kind of like, I don't know if you guys can like I don't have them because I'm young, but I mean some older people have like some lines around their lips a little bit, and I feel like the only thing was the lipstick was kind of running a little bit as time went by. So that's the only thing. So I went like with a beauty blender and I fixed that, and then I reapplied the lipstick so it would look fresh and not like runny, because that's not a look. But that is what I did. And overall, I'm very satisfied with how everything came out. I didn't post the pictures in this video just because I feel like some people would find it really creepy, because after the fact, I was going to the University of Curacao and I told some classmates like that I did that, and when I tried to show them pictures, they would be like, no, like why would you think want to see that, like no, that's so creepy, like ew, no. So some people would find it interesting and they would be, oh, like let me see, but some people would really like, it would really be like a trigger. So that is why I didn't include it in this video, because I don't know who wants and who doesn't want to see it. So yeah, that is a story time. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and you learned something new. If you did enjoy the story time, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you can become part of the family. Make sure that you turn on the bell notifications also so you will not miss when I upload a new video. Also make sure that you follow me on my social media platforms, my Instagram, Snapchat and TikTok for more fun content. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!